Hello friends, welcome to my channel SDET QA Test Automation. Today is our fourth session on Nightwatch training. So before starting the today's session, I have told you that how we can install the Nightwatch into the Visual Studio Code using the NPM, correct? So today we will first see that how we can uninstall any application or any module that we have installed into the Visual Studio Code using the NPM. Why I am gonna do it, that I will show you. Just be with me. So first we will understand that how we can uninstall any module that is installed in Visual Studio Code. Okay, so what we have to do it, just I'm opening the Visual Studio Code and I have to open the terminal. So here is our terminal. Okay, so it is in the Nightwatch workspace. I'm going to my projects using CD Nightwatch training, right? So if we have to uninstall any module, so what we have to do is npm uninstall, and let me go to the package.json, right? And what we have to do is any module that is installed, like right now we have Nightwatch. So what we have to do is just whatever you have to uninstall, just give that name. Okay, at hint enter. So what you will see, it will uninstall the module that is installed into the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so let it uninstall. Okay, so you can see that here it is showing that all package has been removed and how much time it has taken, right? So let me refresh this, and if I go to the node module, you can see that very less thing is present right now. Everything is almost blank only, right? So we have seen that how we can uninstall the node module, that is any module that is installed in the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so now the question is why I have uninstalled the Nightwatch which I have installed it, correct? So the reason why I have installed it, because I have used the version 1.7.2, I think so. Yeah, 1.7.12. But from now onwards, I'm going to use the version Nightwatch version 2, which is now currently in the beta version. So here it is. You can see that right now it is in 2.0.0 beta 1 version. You can ask the question why I'm using this version. What is the benefit of using this version? There are a lot of benefits using this version from the previous one. The one version is there, it is going to support the Selenium 4. Selenium 4 come with the lot of extra features. Okay. Apart from that one, the bigger feature for me in the Nightwatch version 2 is the inbuilt test runner for Cucumber. Okay. In the later session, once we will proceed with, once we will develop, once we will understand the Nightwatch, how the Nightwatch test case will be written and executed. Once this all thing will be done, then we will introduce the Cucumber part. Okay. So previously what was happening, that Nightwatch was not having the Cucumber runner. So when we have to use the Cucumber with Nightwatch, so we have to use then any external API. Okay. So let's see if this, okay, what we were using previously, right? If we are using right 1.7.21, or let's suppose you are using 0.9 or something like that, some older version. So this is the 0.9 version is there. Let me go to the 1.7 version is there. Okay, so once you are using these Nightwatch versions, this Nightwatch was not having the inbuilt Cucumber runner. They were having some other test runner was there, but was not having the Cucumber runner, right? So version 2 has come up with the Cucumber runner. This is the major benefit. Okay. So now, when we were using the older version of Nightwatch, what was happening, we will see. I am going to search with the Nightwatch Cucumber API. Okay, and let me open this. So this is one link is there. We will come to that link later. Nightwatch Cucumber API. Wait a minute. Okay. Where this is. Yeah. So previously, when you have to use the Cucumber with the Nightwatch before 1 later version of the Nightwatch, like 0.9 or something like that, and if you have to use the Cucumber, then there was a package, Nightwatch Cucumber package was there, which is now deprecated. So you should have to use this package for working with the Cucumber, right? You can see that they have given that how you can use the Cucumber with the Nightwatch. Okay. Now, once you have upgraded from 0.9 version to 1.7.2 or later version, then they have introduced the Nightwatch API. Okay. Using this API, we were able to use the Cucumber with Nightwatch. Okay, that Cucumber JS basically. I mean that. So using this API, we were able to use the Cucumber with Nightwatch. Okay, got it? Now, what is happening now when I'm going to use version 2.0? So what will happen in that one is automatically that they have introduced the test runner, that is Cucumber test runner in Nightwatch.js. So you don't need to use any extra API for using the Nightwatch.js, and this is the biggest benefit for the user who want to use the Nightwatch with Cucumber. Okay, I hope I am clear on that point. So we will move forward and we will install the Nightwatch 2.0.0 beta 1 version. So be with me. Okay, so let's see with the installation of Nightwatch version 2.0 beta version how we can install it. So here is the uh, code. From there you can install it. What we have to use it, npm I nightwatch @next. So I am copying this code, and in the Visual Studio Code I'm gonna paste it, and when I run this, let it execute and install it. So here you can see that my Nightwatch is successfully installed. All the packages downloaded. There is zero issues is found there, and when I go to the package.json, you can see that the Nightwatch version is 2.0.0 beta.1, right? So we have successfully installed the Nightwatch, right? Okay, so we come again from the older topic that which we were discussing yesterday, like the configuration file. So what we have discussed yesterday, that we can create the configuration file in two ways. The one is the nightwatch.json file, and one is the JavaScript file that is called the nightwatch.conf.js file. Correct? And also we have learned that if the nightwatch.json file and the nightwatch.conf.js file, if both will be found, then nightwatch.conf.js file will take precedence over nightwatch.json file. Okay, so going forward, I'm going to use only nightwatch.conf.js file, and I'm not going to use the nightwatch.js file. So I'm going to just remove this file for time being. So this is just for understanding. I told you that you can use the JSON file also. So as you can see here that this nightwatch.conf.js file will take precedence over the nightwatch.json file. So better to use the nightwatch.conf.js file while we'll go with the nightwatch.json file, because using the JS file, it will give you the more flexibility. Okay. If you go for the JSON file, there will be some limit is there, right? So we will be keep going forward. We will be using the nightwatch.conf.js file, and we will starting our configuration from the scratch. Okay. So let me first delete this nightwatch.json file. So I am gonna delete this. Okay. So it's done. Now we have nightwatch.conf.js file. I'm going to delete all the data from that one which we have copied there. Okay. Now the first thing to start it, how we can start it? What I told you, we have to write module dot exports. So you can see that this is automatically coming because I have installed the plugin. Okay. And what we have to write it, module dot export is equal to, then the first thing is that this you have to do it. Okay. I hope it is clear. The first step is you have to write module dot exports is equal to, and then you have to create a curly, you have to start with the curly braces and in the curly braces, and inside that one you will populate the data. Okay. Now whatever all the data you will populate it here, that we will see it one by one. So here is this, we are going to start with the configuration file with the base setting. So how you will commit here? You will come here to the developer guide, then go to the configuration, then go to the all settings, and you will find the base setting. So we will start with the settings with the source folder. Okay. We will understand one by one with the description and all other things, and then we will write it. I'm going to tell you everything. So first you will see that what is this? This is the source folder. So I'm going to use this source folder, right? What is the type of this one? The type of this is either it could be a string, it could be an array, or it could be a globe pattern. Okay. If you don't know about the globe pattern, don't worry. When we'll go to the Cucumber, you can understand that one. So right, I hope you understand what is called a string and what is called array. Okay. So just read the description, and the default is none. Okay. If you don't provide any value, it will be none. Okay. So now description is an array of folder excluding the subfolders, okay, where the tests are located, right? So what it is telling that the source folders are the folders where your tests are, where you are creating your tests, right? It means that. So it can be either a single folder or multiple folder, right? If it is a single folder, you will just create the folder and give a string. If it is a multiple folder, what you can do it, you can just give in a array, right? So let's start with that one. So I have given the source folder, and basically this is an object, right? For that I forgot to tell you that module.export is equal to, in the curly braces I have given. So this is all about that. This is the key and the value we will populate it, right? The source folder, right? So let's create a source folder. Okay. So I'm going to create my source folder as, let me create a new folder in the Nightwatch training. Okay. I'm creating a folder called test. Okay. And inside that one, maybe other folders will be there. And I'm going to name it as a, my source folder is test. Done? Clear? Right. Now come to the next thing. Now what is, again this line is telling that if it is not, this is not specified, the test source must be passed inline as the second argument to the test runner. That will come later. Okay. Now, test settings, right? And what is this test settings? This is a object. What it is telling that an object in which all test environments are defined. Each overriding test settings as needed, a default environment is always required from which the other environments inherit settings from. Okay, and they have given that how you can define the test environment. From now, what I'm doing is I'm not defining any test settings, but just I am creating a blank object. So how I will create it? Just like that, you have to create it. That setting we will populate it later. But what you have to understand, what you have got it that this is an object which all the test environment are defined, and one default environment should always there, right? So if you are not giving this default environment, then it won't work. So you must have to define a default environment in the test settings. Okay. Now next is the WebDriver. What this is defining that? This is an again an object, and this is an object containing WebDriver related configuration options. So what I'm gonna do it, I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to paste this, and again it is an object. I'm just going to keep it as it is because I'm not going to populate right now data for you. Later we will do these things on based on our requirement. So just for you and you let you understand that this is an object containing WebDriver related configuration option. Okay. Now come to the Selenium. Okay. Again this is an object. So this is a Selenium, and again this is an object, right? So what it's telling that an object containing Selenium server related configurations option. If Selenium server is not used, WebDriver options should be set instead. Okay. Starting with Nightwatch 1.0, Selenium is only required when testing against a grid setup or a cloud testing service. Okay. So what you understand that one? So what it is telling that if Selenium server you are not using, then you have to use this WebDriver. Okay, right. Now come to the next thing, custom command path. Let me create it. And what is this? This is again a string array or global pattern type. So I'm going to create custom command path, right? And it could be a string, right? What is custom command path? Locations where custom command will be loaded from. So you will understand this. What is this custom command, right? Now, the custom command is you will be writing your own command. Like an example I'm giving you. A calendar is there, an HTML calendar, or let's suppose any Ajax calendar is there, and you want to select some date. So you go to any tool, any automation tool. You will not provide the direct method or function or command to select the date, right? If you want to write your own command, right? So where you will write it, correct? So that's why Nightwatch has given preference us to write the custom command. Okay, and they have given us in a way that okay, you create a folder, you write the custom command into that one, and you don't need to do anything, just you write it there and use it. Okay, so you will write the custom command for selecting the date from there, and you can use it. So the custom command could be either a string or it could be in an array. So let me create a folder called custom command path. Okay, so I'm going to create a folder called custom I will give custom what I have written custom command. Okay, and what we have to do it, sorry, I'm very lazy in typing. So like that we have to give it. Okay, or you can give it in a array also, not a problem. This way also it will work. Okay, like that you should give it. Okay, same like it will go to the source folder also. So keep it simple in a string. Okay, now this is about custom command. Now come to the custom assertion path. Okay, the location where custom assertion will be loaded from, again it will be a string array, and either it will be a globe pattern, and the default value is none. Okay, so what is the custom assertion? So assertion, you understand that what, suppose you are verifying something, and if it is something failing, you will assert there, right? If you want to write some custom assertion for yourself, you can write it same as a custom command, and you can load that as a custom assertion for yourself. Okay, so you have to use this custom assertion path. Okay, and what you have to do is I'm gonna create a folder called custom assertion. Okay, and what we have to do is, sorry, just keep the path here. Okay, so as this is in a project root folder, we don't need to specify the whole path is there, it will automatically take it. Okay, so you can give like that also, not a worry, you can give like that for defining the path. Okay, now the next is page object path. So here you can see that the location where the page object file will be loaded from. Now what is this page object? So there is an example. This is a page in front of you, you are seeing it here. This is the left page, this is the iframe, I think, where this is the left side, you can see that you can scroll it. This is the top bar is there, this is the center part is there, right? And if you go down some other, this is some fields are there. So these are the, this is in this page there are so many objects are there, right? Like the elements is there, and this element got some properties, right? What properties is there? Element got properties like what is the locator of this element, like how you can locate it. Other thing is there, what are all the things you can perform on this page, right? Suppose you want that to click this base settings, and you want to do some checks, you want to write some command on that one, some function on that one, or verification command you want to write it. So these things will be coming under the page object, right? So where you will define this page objects, so for that reason they have given the page object path. So what you have to do is just come here and give the page object path, and sorry, here is a comma is missing, and you can create a folder and give like page object, right? And again you don't need to do anything, just pass the name, sorry, right? So you can see that how simple it is, just it is mention everything, and I'm going one by one. Okay, now this is the global path. What is this use of the global? So while you are working with the Nightwatch, some data you will require while running your test case, like it will be available from like everywhere, right? Whatever test case you are using, anywhere in your test command or custom command you are writing, you required some data to be available globally. Okay, so if you require this, then they have given the global path. Okay, and you can see that this will accept only a string. Okay, so the global path will be only accepting a string, right? So here I'm going to define a global path, and I'm going to create a folder called globals. Okay, and just give the name of this. Okay, location of an external global module which will be loaded. Okay, again one here I forgot to mention. It is telling that location of an external global module which will be loaded and made available to the test as a property globals on the main client instance, right? So we have to provide the location of the module. What module basically it is talking about? So let me tell you. Under globals, I'm going to create a file called global.js. Okay, if you remember this module.export, this is talking about this one. So this is talking about this path. Okay, so we have to give this path. So how we can give it? Like this, global.js. So this is the way you can define the global path. Okay, so I am stopping the session today. This is not the complete configuration I have finished. Slowly we will complete the other configuration also. Be with me. It is not like a single day you will learn all the things. Slowly if you understand and learn, then it will be good, right? So you will be deeply understand about how we will go. Otherwise it will be difficult for you to understand the concept. Okay, so I hope I have made clear the concept. If you have any query and question, write it in the comment, and you can reach me out directly. I have mentioned my email ID in the channel description. Okay, so thanks for watching my video. Have a nice day. Bye.